What's up, y'all? It's your girl Stacey the Intuitive. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if this is your first time. Thank you so much for joining. So today I just wanted to talk about a topic, as we always come here to do, talk about little topics that have been prevalent in my life, and we kind of tell it like I'm just telling y'all what's going on with me, so that it feels more relatable and stuff like that. And that's just kind of how it comes out. So for the past year or so, honestly, I've been embarking on this really interesting path where it's counterintuitive, but it's intuitive, right? It's counterintuitive to what everybody else might think, but it's intuitive based on my own soul's inclinations and guidance, right? Which has really just shown me so much about the external world, about convention, about conformity, about advice and things like that. And I feel like this is super important, so I just kind of wanted to come and talk on it, because hopefully by me talking about this, someone else will feel more comfortable in navigating in this way, and hopefully it'll give people who really try to infringe upon that type of navigation some insight to why. So basically the path that I've been on, I tell you guys all the time, I'm really just embarking on this spiritual journey. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm trying to live in alignment with the will of my creator, but also in alignment with my most authentic self, what my soul knows is for me, what it yearns towards, right? And so a lot of people think very much in a one-dimensional kind of way, is what I feel, or in a very single track mind. When I try to encompass all aspects of my soul, all aspects of that multidimensional reality, whatever have you, I try to just really be an integrated being. And so as I navigate, I'm not just navigating from selfish desire. I mean, I guess it all is kind of selfish desire, because it all has to do with your desire. But what I mean is, I try not to navigate from a place of oh, this is what I can gain immediately from this, so let me go in this direction. It might seem like you should go in a certain way because it's just logically the most sensible, but I don't try to navigate in a very logical minded way. I try to navigate from a place of heart and authenticity and intuition. And yes, of course, logic is required there, but I found a lot of the time, even when trying to explain me feeling intuitively guided in certain directions that might seem unconventional, I get a lot of people who are yeah, you're just doing this, they're just kind of projecting their perception of my actions onto me. And every single time I've taken the action that I've taken, though, I felt so much more aligned. I feel like I'm at the perfect place right now. I don't feel like I've taken any wrong steps. But those people in the past, or people I've dealt with that might have seen me navigating, might disagree. They might have been yeah, she did that, but they don't know what I gained internally from that. And that's the biggest thing too. A lot of people navigate only with a third dimensional, very physical reality perception, and I try to navigate in the energetic realm as well. So a lot of the choices and things that I make are very energetic, and so I'm trying to make paradigm shifts, trying to choose timelines and different realities and stuff like that. And it sounds so esoteric, but it's really just for me, it's just kind of a regular thing. And I feel if you get it, if you try to navigate in this way, then you also get it. But I just wanted to come on here and say, this is probably going to be a pretty quick video, but don't take people's advice. People's opinions, people's assertions are only as limited as their scope goes. And that's super important, because if someone doesn't see themselves in an expanded perspective, or with the expansion that you see, then it's going to be impossible for them to put themselves in your position, right? When you're navigating from a soulfully guided place, truthfully really trying to go with the inclinations of your soul, you feel guided to these directions, even if they don't make sense to anyone. The worst thing you can do is let someone else's beliefs and limited perception of their reality infringe upon yours, because once again, it's, first of all, it's limited. It's not limited even because they are a limited person. It could be that, but most of all limited because they don't know you. They don't know the uniqueness of your soul. One of the most important things that I want to push out to this world is just getting people to understand there is literally a person for everything. So where one person might fail in this situation and it might be the norm, there's literally one person in this world that would be tasked to take on that path that everyone conventionally might say no, because that person's going to succeed on that path. I really hope that that makes sense. But that's one of the biggest thing that guides me, is in knowing that this world, this universe, the collective is so expansive, and that there's uniqueness in literally every single person. So for every single contradiction that can be made, I do feel that there is an exception, right? So let's say, for example, someone is like, oh, like, you really shouldn't be climbing up that tree. Everyone who's climbed up that tree has fallen down. This is just a random example, but I believe that in the way that the world works, there's gonna be one person who could climb up that tree, just that one person, right? And this is like, once again, this is kind of a limited example too, because it's just so dense kind of, but what I'm trying to get across here though is that we cannot let this conformist culture, we cannot let this pushing of lacking individuality stop us from going on the path that's meant to us. One of the best things on my path has been like understanding and finding that, oh yeah, although other people might not have been able to navigate in this way and find all of the gems in this space, I have been hardwired in this way. But I was created in this way to be able to undergo this. And so you really cannot let other people's like limited perceptions get in the way, because the whole thing is to be the exception. Like, you know, and if you don't feel guided in this direction, then don't do it just to like, you know, have some ego trip at like, yeah, I was the only one. No, because it'll most likely fail if that's your intention. Maybe not, who knows? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could say it'll most likely fail if that's your intention, but if there's one person that it's not supposed to fail for with that same intention, you know what I mean? So like, what's really important here is understanding that there is literally an individual for every single calling, every single one. I'm telling you, every single one. And you could be that individual. So when you're thinking and feeling guided towards something that other people might be like, no, do not let that get in your way, because you could be that individual and those people could be deterring you from your path. There might be significant lessons there. And that's one of the biggest things for me too, is understanding that like certain paths hold like certain lessons and things like that. And so if the way that your soul is, your essence is, requires that you go through this one thing in order to learn this lesson, and your creator knows this is the only way, but learning this lesson will literally expand this person beyond anything that they could ever dream, then you need to be willing to listen to that calling, guys. Like, this is a message that I can't stress enough, because I've experienced this so much this year, where people have literally told me like have tried to like infringe upon like what my intuition is telling me. And that has been like the biggest battle, like really needing to separate the I from the thou, because like, although there is this unity and that we are all a part of the same collective, there also is this hyper individuality that, and I say hyper individuality because the point that the level of individuality that is so curated to who you are cannot be fathomed by another. And so I like to think of it in this way now, where people do try to give me like advice when I already know like what my soul is guiding me towards. I don't let anyone's opinions get in the way, but I do let that understanding of that connection and that support of my path, where people could have opinions, make me feel like this loving vibration rather than like this they're against me vibration. I've thought of it in the way like, how beautiful that there are people that support me in this world, that like I can hear their opinions, but also knowing like I'm completely not going to take that opinion, because I don't really navigate in such a way that I try to like look for advice and things like that. I really just try to be intuitively guided to what I feel, because I know that that is the only thing that's going to bring me to the most authentic level of self, is if I'm following my instincts every single, you know, along the way. But I do really appreciate the value in expanded perspectives and perspectives outside of yours, because I feel like it just brings deeper chances to connect. So if people are giving you your advice, there doesn't need to be hostility, but instead just this willingness to connect in a different way, but also this energy of sovereignty and like knowing this is who I am, that's who you are, I respect it, but I will not be taking on anything that comes from outside of myself, because it's not mine, right? It's not meant to fit, right? I mean, people do hold valuable wisdom and information, and the wisdom can help you along your path, but do not take directions from anyone else, because I guarantee you, this is the one guarantee, their directions will be wrong if they contradict with yours. So I just wanted to come on here and say that. It was a really quick and short and easy message, but I feel like there are some people who are probably needing to know that, because I really struggled with this, like feeling like people's opinions challenged mine and things like that. And I'm telling you, from a person who really resisted and went against what other people tried to kind of impress upon me, I feel so grateful for continuing in the direction that I did, because everything that was meant for me to gain from what my instincts was guiding me towards let me gain exactly what I needed. And keep in mind, like, people might be looking very surface at what it is that you're to gain. Like, if you're navigating in a love situation, they're thinking, well, aren't you only supposed to be trying to get like a boyfriend or girlfriend out of this situation? Like, but if you're thinking of it from such a deeper level, this soul growth, development, healing of your bloodline and stuff like that, then no, you shouldn't be navigating in a way that only gets you the boyfriend, the girlfriend, or the job, the thing, when whatever circumstance you might be being guided towards has so much more for you than just that surface thing that one person might be able to pinpoint. And that's what I'm talking about with the really connecting on the energetic realm. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to share that, because I know that there's people out there that are experiencing this type of I versus the thou. Just know that it doesn't have to be a versus thing. It could just be I, and then there's thou, right? They can be completely separate, but also understand that your belief in self, your essence, has to trump anyone else's always, because they're not you. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.